Welcome back to the show, and we're definitely looking forward to speaking to our coach, our life coach, as always, Nazia Salejie, joining us once again on the show to entice us into a better space as far as the word regret is concerned. Assalamu alaikum. Thank you so much for joining me on the show. A warm welcome to you.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. It's such a pleasure, always such a pleasure to be on your show.
Yeah, it always has been exciting talking to you, and I'll say that because I think even with the team, there's many things that we find so valuable after we've chatted to you that we take back for ourselves and for our self healing as well. And I think that's important because it goes to show that what you tell us is relevant and it entices us into good spaces for us to think about the types of situations we're in and how we can better it in many directions. So let's talk about this word. And I think many a times, and I think, look, every single one of us has lived in some way to regret some particular aspect of our lives. Let's talk about how we deal with it, how we own it, what is it that we can do to better it, and how do we, of course, go forward um, trying to avoid regretting. But as we know, we are human beings, so there are some times in our lives where we're going to err, and there is going to be that form of regret.
There's different types of regret, and in dealing with regret, it's all dependent on which type of regret we are dealing with. And as human beings, we need to understand how it affects our mental health, how it affects our capacity to grow, how we see ourselves going forward. And regret comes with guilt, comes with shame, comes with disappointment. It comes with a lot of questions. So there is a lot that comes with it. It's such a basket of things to deal with and break down. But I'm so happy that we're exploring this today.
Now, I'm actually excited that we're dealing with this for one reason, because I think it's going to teach us to grow and how we can deal with the types of situations. So, how does one own up to it? How do you accept your responsibility to the negative experience that you've had? It could have been where you felt, you had a loved one in your life and maybe they were ill and you didn't do enough for them. And then you live with that regret in your life to say, I could have done more. Do we learn to accept the fact that we did try our best, or how is it that you would try to advise us and to be able to look at the holistic version of the situation that we're facing?
So number one is that acknowledging your feeling in the situation and also the intent. If you feel like you didn't do everything you could possibly do in that instance, like for a loved one who's passed away, what is your intention? Because most often we put ourselves through so much of trauma thinking we didn't do enough. But we all know that acknowledging your feelings and saying, okay, if I feel like this, let me work out how I came to this conclusion and what it is that I did for this person. Did I intend to do my best and did I strive to do my best in that situation? And, obsessing over it only causes the negative emotion to expand. So there is a type of regret that you could look at, and it could be a negative experience. And there's a type of regret where, I think I can come back from this, if I focus, and I acknowledge that this feeling is here, I'm not going to dwell so much on it that it's going to put me in a negative space and then stunt my growth or throw me into a depression. So dealing with the type of regret in its circumstance enables us to pull you out and give you a perspective of it. Like, okay, if it's something that you did, what was your intention? If it was your intention to hurt someone, for example, and you're regretting that, we work on the intention, and then, there's certain actions you can take, and you can ask for forgiveness, and you can do your duty, to try to restore the kind, or to try and see if you can redeem yourself with that person or save the relationship. And if not, and you've exhausted everything that you set out to do, and it was with good intention, then we sort of able to arrest the impact of the regret. But it is a normal emotion that everybody experiences. It's a normal state, and everybody in one, whether you are a child, whether you're an adult, everybody experiences regret. Kids will experience it when it comes to exams. Did I study hard? I regret going out. I regret not paying attention in class. And adults have different levels of regret too. So understanding the situation in its context allows us to deal with the mechanics of the regret, but definitely first acknowledging your feelings about it, and therefore acknowledging your actions which stemmed from your feelings.
Agree with you there, and I think it's about owning up and accepting, but it's also sometimes difficult to move on from that, and understanding that certain regrets and things that have occurred are sometimes not in our control. It could have been something that happened that was not in our control, and then you have that regret. Well, how would you deal with that type of emotion?
So when it comes to things beyond your control, we need to establish what is in your control and what was not in your control. And from there, we can make you see that if it was beyond your control, the kind of regrets that you have can definitely be, spoken about, and we can actually make you feel, better about yourself, because you need to still be kind to yourself. You still need to show kindness to yourself. And there are different coping mechanisms for this type of a situation, because a lot of people, when they regret, you find them trying to numb themselves of the emotion. And this is when people will think, okay, maybe if I, take painkillers, or I sleep it off, or, I try and escape the situation psychologically by indulging in high risk behavior, I will be able to just forget. So acknowledging where you are and giving yourself kindness, showing kindness to yourself is very important. Again, when it comes to regret, it is about what you can and can't control in the situation. If it is beyond your control, then what level of self-harm are you doing by continuously, punishing yourself psychologically and otherwise? So establishing it in the context is very important.
A break, and then we'll join you after that.
Keys have now reopened on 235 Matthews Maiwa Road in Durban. Head on over for the Taste with Kick. We offer something scrumptious for everyone in the family. Wraps, chicken tikka, burgers, tender grills, mocktails, milkshakes, and so much more. Corporate and events catering available. Visit our social media pages for more info or call 031 209 0119. Kiki's, the Taste with Kick.
Little bare feet on the icy wet ground, a shiver at his lips, mud on his clothes. When he is cold, the hunger is worse, the nights are longer, and the pain is more severe. What if this was your child? The Al Imdad Foundation's Global Winter Appeal allows you to make a difference for refugees, IDPs, and struggling communities in 21 countries globally. Sponsor a winter pack today for just 600 Rand. Donate online at alimdad.com or call 0861 786 243.
For a long time, we've lived in a centralized world, where institutions held the all-important data and confirmed all transactions. Those times are over. Welcome to Libertas Group, a blockchain development company boasting an ecosystem that continually redefines the way we do business. Our blockchain is decentralized, making it immune to hacking or alteration, putting the power back in your hands with no middleman so you can focus on the growth of your business. Libertas, the simplest investment choice you'll make.
Shimmer, sparkle, captivate. Nothing less than a masterpiece. Droplets of gold inspires precious design. Platinum bursts with intricate freshness. And every pure diamond becomes more than just a girl's best friend. Voda Gold Gem Jewelers, where timeless dreams become a reality. Come to us. We tailor-make designer gold, platinum, and diamond jewelry. Trade in or remodel your old gold. Clad yourself with classy name-branded watches. We offer insurance valuation and freezer card calculation. Visit us at 534 Rich Road, Overport, or call 031 208 9142. Voda Gold Gem Jewelers, manufacturers of fine gold and diamond jewelry.
Your act of love gives hope. Islamic Relief supports orphans and vulnerable children in 28 countries with food, education, and medical care. There are more than 150 million orphans in the world. You can give hope to one. Sponsor an orphan today. Go to www.islamic-relief.org.za.
Listen to something fresh. Listen to Salam Media.
Welcome back to the mid-morning show with myself, Nafisa Dango, and we're in conversation with Nazia Salejie about a very important word, and the word is regret. Nazia, before we left, we were speaking about, of course, just trying to deal with it, and of course, realizing that certain things are not within our control. How do we free ourselves from this feeling of guilt and experiences? And how should we say, can we use the word gratitude? Because I think it's something that we're going to learn from. Nazia, are you on the line? Okay, so there we go. We seem to be okay, there we go. We had a bit of a bad signal from your side, Nazia. But my question was, I was just saying that, before we left for the ad break, we spoke about inadvertently just looking at ourselves and saying, certain things are not within our control, but it's learning from it that matters. To ask ourselves, what is it that we learned from this particular experience, and what can we take back with us? So we're turning now the negative, should we say, into the positive aspect. So should we say that the word gratitude has to come into play when it comes to this particular aspect?
So when we're talking about undoing of regret and we're talking about gratitude, we're not talking about gratitude for the lessons that we have learned that comes about as a result of introspection, of holding ourselves accountable for our intentions, and of also understanding that through gratitude, it can ease the healing, it can ease the understanding of the situation, and it can lead us to take better decisions going forward, because from the lesson, we make better decisions and we have more renewal. There's an opportunity for us to renew our behavior, our thinking. There's a time, or there's an opportunity for us to evaluate. And it's also difficult because after the accountability, you've got to see exactly how much of responsibility you are willing to take in the situation, and how much in terms of, responsibility you take for the emotion you are experiencing, which is regret. So we have to mindfully reframe it for you so that it becomes a productive experience, and you are able to put the pain of regret to work for your betterment as opposed to work for your self-destruction.
A very pertinent question when we speak to many people is when you're dealing with a narcissist, and they always have this way of making you so-called regret what you have inadvertently in some way done wrong. How do you deal with that? Because I think it's very difficult to, even if as much as you may apologize or show your so-called remorse for what is transpired when maybe you haven't even been in the wrong, how do you deal with that type of regret? Because the thing is, people are experiencing this time and again through so many different environments. And I think many households are dealing with one form of a narcissist or the other.
So here's the thing about it. It's a concept where the victim is basically made to feel as if you are wrong all the time, and you've got to be in a state of apology all the time, and you've got to acknowledge how responsible you are, as opposed to, basically the whole situation is turned on you. And a lot of people are not even aware that they have been, or they are being, gaslighted, for example. So in that time, number one is that what kind of a mentality you have? Where are you in your thinking, your emotions? You've got to place yourself so that you become so strong that you know what you should regret and what you shouldn't regret. Because in this instance, regret is used as a tool to get you into submission and to basically, sort of enhance control over you. So there's certain times that you've got to know your power, and you've got to know how strong you are, what are your weak points, what are your strong points, what you need to work on. And you also have to identify the personality that you are living with and the patterns which lead you to a state of regret, which in turn makes you more submissive and makes you basically kneel. And this is something that, yes, a lot of people are living with. It's a form of abuse that people are living under. And in terms of regret and bringing it up to regret, it's used as a tool and a very powerful one to get someone into submission. So my advice would be, number one is to seek professional help. Get an objective outsider's opinion. It doesn't even have to be, if you have a friend or you have someone that you trust and you're talking to this person, allow them to influence, allow them to talk to you and really penetrate that, you know what, accept the situation for what it is and not what you wish it could be. And handling the narcissist, you will definitely need support. You will definitely need professional assistance to identify the pattern, how it affects you, and how best you can deal with it and cope with it. But regret is definitely a tool to get you into submission.
To leave us with today.
So in terms of motivational quotes, so you are not defined by your ability to be perfect. You are all the exclusive experiences your soul has accumulated. And this includes all the emotions. You are a holistic human being with all your emotions, with all your failures, with all your regrets and disappointments. It's a part of you. And you are going to achieve so much more if you start from a point of self-love and not from a point of self-loathing. So my message is, love yourself, be kind to yourself, pause, take a deep breath and ask yourself, if I'm going to be punishing myself, for the rest of my life and I'm going to live in regret, I'm going to be wasting my own life and my own time. And life is so short, at the end of the day. So remember that you are not defined by your ability to be perfect. You are all the exclusive experiences that your soul has accumulated. But most of all, be grateful, because we are all unique and we are all beautiful in our own ways. We just need to shine a little light in the darkness sometimes.
I think you've given us a totally, should we say, lightful, insightful perspective on this particular word and how we can change it to change our lives for the positive. And I really appreciate that, because I think a lot of the time people deal with these types of issues but don't know how to, of course, find the necessary solutions. And you've definitely helped us out with that this morning, as you always do. I want to thank you so much for joining us on the show and inspiring us as far as the subject is concerned. And I hope we get to chat to each other real soon.
Jazakallah so much.
Take care, and we'll chat to you in a bit. Maybe next week or the week after. Assalamu alaikum.
Salam.
Nazia Salejie definitely sharing some, should we say, insightful words as far as the word regret is concerned. And she's given us some really good food for thought. And with that, we'll be back with you in a second with our authors on Taxi Through Mzansi.